Hello, beach friends. Today we will be exploring Keewaydin on a very low tide winter day. Now, if you don't know my channel, I love the beach. I love coming here super early in the morning and exploring and seeing what all I can find. Now, today will be pretty good because it is going to be a very low tide day. We are on an island, which kind of helps with the whole competition standpoint as far as people are concerned. And believe me, we are definitely going to find gorgeous sea treasures. All right, we definitely have some banded tulips here. Fantastic. And as we go, I will be identifying all the goodies that we find today. This is looking pretty promising. I suspect we're going to have a pretty good time today. Yes! Alphabet cones are a sign of very good things. That is a very handsome looking shell. So that is a great sign that there are some fabulous treasures out there. Ooh, and this nutmeg too. Yeah, I might have to work a little bit to get some of these treasures, and that's okay because believe me, I'm happy to do it. Now, as much as I love the shells, I love the creatures that create the shells. So we'll be saying hi to a bunch of those critters as well. And yes, we will definitely find a couple of fantastic seashells, including something that I consider to be a bucket list shell. So if you're ready to see what all is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. Okay, so we're here in Keewaydin, and I'm gonna kind of go quickly in the beginning. Yay! Another alphabet cone. Alphabet cones are very desirable. I also really like finding the cones. That's a fantastic seashell. Oh yeah, that is what I'm talking about. And one of the shells I kind of specifically came here to look for. Here's a nice size lightning whelk. Well, at least it looks okay. Let's wash that off and find out. Oh, it's perfect. Absolutely beautiful lightning whelk. And look here in the background. So that seashell started out as a tiny little itty bitty thing inside those little discs. I'm checking to see if any of those babies hatched or not. This does look empty. So that looks like that was some successful babies hatched from there. Oh, and here we have a little bubble. So a great lightning whelk and a little bubble shell. Oh, okay. What else at low tide are we going to find? Oh, nice size banded tulip. I'm sure they will be here. That one happens to be particularly big. Yeah, it's a nice looking seashell. Your banded tulip. Oh, high horse conch. Yeah, we're probably not going to find too many great shells just sitting there like that after too long. Keewaydin is popular. You can get here by boat. So I will have a wee bit of competition as the morning marches on. Oh, it's alive. So this is a live banded tulip. And what personally I find very exciting is I can actually see its little antennas here. So I'm always, these critters just look like a gooey blob, but they're actually beautiful with heads and antennas. They just, once they're out of the water, they just look a little bit gooey. So I'm checking this one out. The animal's body is absolutely beautiful. So it's that black and white speckled thing. Then over, you can almost see the operculum right there. Oh, it's so neat. Now, it is a little cold this morning, so it might be moving a little slow. And I kind of decided to check out my surroundings. Oh, look, there's a lightning whelk. Okay, awesome. All right, we'll clean that up in a second. Let's see if this little snail is going to do anything else very exciting. I don't think it is. So Let's give it a little lift over to some water, and then we can continue our beach combing adventure. You can kind of, yeah, sort of see its little antennas there. Probably the closest I've seen to actually seeing the critter out of the water. So they are gooey. I was hoping to see it being adorable, but it's mostly just being a snail. So we'll leave that there. Let's wash off this lightning whelk. Oh yeah, another terrific looking lightning whelk. Well, my morning's getting off to a wonderful start. Oh, excellent. It's empty. So this is an apple murex. I have some decent competition for these shells with the hermit crabs. That one's empty. Okay, see what I mean? So there is a shuttle that comes and helps bring the people here. So you may be on an island, you're not going to have the place to yourself. And that happens here in winter. Everyone loves to come here in the winter because our winters are awesome. Because you do stuff like this out on the beach. So that is a lightning whelk, a very bendy lightning whelk. That's what I'm finding interesting about that one. There's a little bit of a bend to it. That animal probably had to repair itself at some point. Oh, and a zigzag arc. So this is one of the more attractive arcs, if you ask me. I like to call it a turkey wing. And we have a banded tulip in there too. So a banded tulip and a turkey wing. Oh, there's another apple murex. I know last week I said they kind of look strawberry blonde. That one looks brunette to me. So that is an empty apple murex. Perfectly safe to collect. Oh, one of my favorites. This is a colorful moon snail. All right, so a little bit of pitting on it. Yeah, I don't know how I pick up the lingo. So why do I know that the little bit of holes in the shells we call pitting? I don't know. But when you see little tiny holes in the shells, we call it pitting. That is a rather nice looking pear whelk. I know there's a little bit of beach stuff on there, but that can get taken care of with a little bit of bleach, I'm sure. Oh, that's beautiful. Now, pear whelks are commonly found from Massachusetts all the way down to Florida along the Gulf Coast states, including Texas. So if you're in California, you're probably out of luck. You're only going to find these on the East Coast. And yeah, well, it happens. Okay. So this for me was exciting because this is a live apple murex. Now, normally it's just goo. It literally is just kind of this lump, but you can kind of see its two little eye stalks there, 1 and 2. Unfortunately, this animal isn't really moving around or doing anything, so it's still kind of hard to kind of see it per se. Yes, it's leaning out of its shell and all, but yeah, I can't really. I see eyeballs, and that is about it. Oh well. Come on, fella. Yeah, kind of indistinguishable. You're very gooey, little friend. That's okay. I'm going to put you here in some water. There you go. Wait for the tide to come back in proper. Oh, here's another critter. This is a scallop. Look at all the eyeballs there. All those little blue dots. Scallops are fun. Oh, there's even more stuff here. It's got some friends on its shell. It looks like it definitely a barnacle. Maybe a jingle? Maybe a jingle on top of an oyster. It's kind of hard to tell, but we do have more than one little critter there. That's why I like low tide. And that shell's just going to kind of sit there with its like mouth open. Okay, well, I have seashells to look for. Oh, look at this scallop. You can see the eyeballs in between the opening there. Oh, that's neat. I love low tide. Oh, hello, crown conch. Now, this is called a crown conch, and it's got an oyster stuck to it. I actually think somebody picked this up and discarded it. I thought it was nice, so I'm going to keep it. That's not actually a conch. I know it's called a crown conch, but it's not actually a true conch. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. Oh, it's alive. So that is a true tulip. I know so quickly. I wanted to show you. Beautiful chocolate brown seashell. The true tulips are really fun to find, some of those colors. There's another little bubble. And another apple murex. All right, so we're going back and forth between the live critters and the empty seashells. Excellent. I'll collect that empty seashell. Apple murex. Oh, here's another moon snail. These are so fun. I love shark eyes. So that is a true shark eye. We talked about the false and the true shark eyes a couple weeks ago. Another pear whelk. Lovely. And that's one of the things, when you go to ID your shells, you kind of got to start with where you are, and then you go from there, because not all of these animals live all over the place. This shell bothered me for days. It's absolutely stunning. I really wanted it. I had some shell lust here. Oh man. But that is a critter. So that is alive and well and not ready. Yep, not ready to come home. Oh, I was a little salty about that. It was so beautiful, that shell. This is a lace murex, alive. Again, look at me. Yeah, I'm not going to see anything. No critter. So we'll just leave you in the water. All right. What will the next fun thing be? Will it be seashell or critter? So no shortage of seashells here. There's another little pear whelk. Oh, not in great condition, so we are not going to collect that, but these shell piles can sure be fun. And I'm probably going to stick closer to the water, just how I like to shell. So that is a cantharus, a rather nice one, I do say. That is a tinted cantharus. Big fan of the cantharus. Down here we can get tinted cantharus and the ribbed cantharus. A low Florida cone. Oh, darn it. Yeah, well, Florida cones they're tough to find in good shape. It's a lovely Florida cone. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Just sitting there. It's so tiny and perfect. And so this is what I consider one of my bucket list shells. This is a rose murex. It's got its little tail. It's got a great color on it. And it just was sitting there. That's a great find. Great find. Oh, look at how yellow that buttercup lucine is. I know it's not much to look at from the top, but man, I do love that surprise. You turn that shell over and it's like a bright yellow surprise. So that's how I found the murex, just kind of wandering along here. But you know what? I am noticing it's kind of getting slimmer, the shell selection here. That is a bay scallop. Not too terribly hard to ID because we really only get a couple of different types of scallops over here in Southwest Florida. That is a bivalve, so an animal that has two shells. It's a mossy arc. It is an arc. It looks a little bit like that turkey wing, like the zigzag arc. And who doesn't like a good lettered olive? Not too many of them out there today, but that is a lovely specimen, all shiny and pointy. All right, there's another one of those mossy arcs. Yeah. Again, it just looks like, for me, it looks like a misshapen turkey wing. Looks like the weird uncle of the turkey wing. Oh, hi, you're pretty. You're probably alive. Yep. Oh, well, let's take a look at your pretty shell. Oh, that is lovely. You do have some lovely vertical markings on there, but you're alive. You got to stay here. The mossy arc can come with me. Now, this is a lucine. I'm kind of leaning toward a thick lucine versus a Pennsylvania lucine. I think the thick lucines are more of a yellow color. That is a ponderous arc. That is a ponderous arc. So the arcs are ubiquitous. They're always here. They're like the welcoming party. They're always here. And the calico scallop, that is simply lovely. Just like kissed by a tangerine color. Gorgeous calico scallop. Oh, I do like a fantastic colorful moon snail. Oh, that shell's in great shape. Absolutely beautiful. Now, my morning, it really couldn't be any better. But I'd like to give back something to you, so I'm going to be quiet and let you enjoy some beach time. The Florida fighting conch. These are one of my favorite seashells. I'm kind of lucky because they're not really rare. And they come in the most amazing colors and patterns. And oh, I just love them. They're a little heavy though. That is a Florida cone. Just as pretty as that orange fighting conch. But the Florida cones are really only going to come in your yellows and your oranges. Unlike your fighting conchs. Speaking of fighting conchs, so this is a live one. Yes, that's right. We have ourselves a live one here. So this is a live Florida fighting conch, and they have a big foot, and that is how they move around, is this foot. And it is very awkward. We're going to look at that in just a second. So we can see its two eye stalks and then its proboscis. It's kind of like a trunk. And these are algae eaters. And so that trunk is just going to kind of like swish around looking for algae. And now hopefully, let's see, is it going to move? It's getting its foot under it. Ugh. Yeah, so I call it schlumping. It's not the most graceful thing, but oh, they're so cute. I like them a little better than the apple murex and lace murex, frankly, because you can kind of just see what's going on with their faces. You can see their eyes, and you can see its little trunk. Well, thank you, fighting conch. We got to see a little bit of you, and you all got to kind of see how it moves around just a little bit. Hopefully we'll maybe encounter a few other ones. It is low tide, so there's a pretty good chance we will. Oh, there's another cantharus. That one happens to be the tinted cantharus. All right, more beat up shells. Oh, we'll just stick with that one. Works for me. Oh, a painted egg cockle. Those are so pretty. They only get so big though, the little painted ones, only about 1 1/4 inches big. That looks about maximum size to me. Oh, that's pretty. Almost looked albino. However, I do see a little splash of color on it. The lace murex can be white or like a toasted coconut. Those are really pretty. So that's a lace murex. Hello, Gaudy Nautica. So that is the colorful moon snail. This is the third one we found today. This one's a little chipped. Let's see, the one before it was probably the best one we found. But still, I like just kind of checking out all the different colors. Oh, you're awesome. You're alive, but oh, look at that shell. Oh, it's so pretty. It's okay. I've seen ones that are almost like a pink strawberry color. Oh, they're so pretty. But live ones got to stay here at the beach. That's a worm snail. I do enjoy just the difference of the worm snails compared to the other very regulated shapes of the other shells. All right, that's a little horse conch. It's kind of missing its spot. It's not the best example of one, but I did want to show you this. So this is a mauve mouth drill. We can certainly see why. So that's a mauve mouth drill and a little horse conch. Ooh, what do we have here? Okay, so this will happen. So we have a little live apple murex, and it's kind of just, they do drill into other shells. So maybe it's practicing because it's drilling into an empty shell. So hopefully it knows what it's doing. Otherwise it's gonna starve. All right, that is a true tulip. It's just missing a little bit too much of the shell for me. I am personally kind of sensitive to the broken shells. I don't really like them. I know it's, I mean, I like all the shells, but I just prefer the ones that are not broken. You can kind of deal with different colors. Yeah, I guess that one was your little fighting conch. Yeah. Oh, you got some nice patterns on you. And you're empty. Excellent. I don't want to get all wrapped up in a shell that I can't live without, only to find out it's alive. Oh, another colorful moon snail. Fantastic. All right, great little spot here to kind of dig around in. Terrific. Oh, what do we have here? All right, we're going to hunt it down. What are we going to find at the end of the trail? A schlumping fighting conch. Now, this I would like to point out. This notch in the shell here, that is called a stromboid notch, and that is specific to true conchs. So that is one of the things you can see, like the crowned conch does not have that stromboid notch in it, so it's not a true conch. This snail is doing a little, not off-roading, what would you even call it? It's going to somehow manage to traverse over the other shell, even with its very ungraceful schlumping, it manages to get around. Now you can really see that proboscis, the trunk, kind of moving around, looking for food. Now, Florida fighting conchs, they're herbivores, so they will not eat other critters. They're going to be looking for algae, and they actually play a vital role in their ecosystem because they're herbivores and they are prey also for various predators, including fish, crabs, and birds. But their grazing activities help maintain the health of seagrass beds, and they do contribute to overall coastal biodiversity. So not only are they one of my favorite little seashells I get to find, they're kind of important to the whole ecological system we have down here, and I just think they are the cat's pajamas. I think they're awesome. The snail's pajamas, I think they're awesome. All right, so we're going to leave that little critter behind and see what other kind of seashells or other critters we may encounter. What do I see? Oh, I see a shark eye. Oh, it's just a little one. You never know. Sometimes a big old lump of shell will come out. I'm not going to complain. That's a nice looking shark eye. It's funny though, some of them are more bulbous, like rounder, is that a thing? But versus a flat shark eye. I'll see if I can find another one. Oh my, see a little bit of pink on the bottom. Are you alive? Yeah, you are. Okay, that's it. I'm not even going to spend any more time. That shell was beautiful. Oh, look, we have a Dosinia. I believe that's an elegant Dosinia. That's what I think that seashell is. Oh, well, hopefully you're empty. What else do we have here? Oh, a little alphabet cone. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, terrific. Well, I did have a little bit of competition with those other people coming to the island, so I'm glad I got those couple of cones early. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, do you see a little E on it? Oh, fabulous little alphabet cone. Oh, and a very beautiful fighting conch as well. You are not empty at all. But let's take a look here. So that disc thing there, if you don't know, is an operculum. And that is a lightning whelk. And the operculum it protects the critter. So the critter kind of retreats up into its shell, and that operculum will protect the critter, sometimes help trap in the moisture. So that is called an operculum. That is a live true tulip. So we'll leave that be. And then here is an operculum that has come loose from its animal. So that is from a lightning whelk. It could have been from a horse conch. Those are the two shells that will get a little bit larger down here. But because of the direction and everything, that's from a lightning whelk. Another empty apple murex. Strawberry-ish color. What do you think? Strawberry blonde? Yeah. Either way, it's empty. It's lovely. It's coming home with me. Oh, another operculum. Awesome. And the operculums are kind of made of like a keratin, kind of like your fingernail, it almost feels like. So we have another lightning whelk. Excellent. And we got ourselves another operculum. A sunray Venus clam that is alive. And what I'm noticing is that the shells are not exactly the same top and bottom. They're similar from a pattern, but not exactly. Interesting. All right, a little tide pool. So just kind of show you. So I'm at the point, the very southern point of Keewaydin. Enjoying myself at the low tide. Looks like most of the people have dispersed, so I don't have too many people right here as I'm shelling. But frankly, there is plenty of shells to go around. Hi, fighting conch. And I'm probably not fighting too many people for the fighting conchs. Good, more for me. I think they're awesome. Although I have met some of you. I know that I'm not the only one that loves those fighting conchs. Now, we're going to do, I'm going to call that a project. I'm going to clean that shell up. And at the end of the video, we'll see just how lovely I can maybe get that rather beat up shell to look. So we shall see. At a couple minutes, not going to be too long. a worm snail, an auger, so common auger. These are, I like augers too. They're kind of, you can kind of overlook them, but they just have really beautiful patterns on them. And then a lovely Fargo worm snail. Another little horse conch. Empty, terrific. Yeah, you gotta be careful when you're shelling by the water. Those hermit crabs. I usually have to give up quite a few shells to the hermit crabs, but. All right, there's a shark eye. And this one, yep, true shark eye. A little bit flatter. Like that other one was more bulbous. What about this one? Ooh, that's a colorful moon snail. And that's another shark eye. It doesn't have that weird kind of like, I don't know how else to explain it. If you know what I'm talking about, leave a comment below. You know what I mean, like the kind of like weird shark eyes. Beautiful lightning whelk. Oh, and a limpet. A cayenne keyhole limpet. Now, the only limpets I have ever found are really this big. They're as big as that. They're quite small, although there's other species of limpets that can get a lot bigger. Alphabet cone, but yeah. And again, because I'm sensitive to the whole breaking thing, so I'm going to leave that for somebody else, just in case maybe they need a starter alphabet cone for their collection. And let's see what else we can find. Oh, that's very nice. Probably one of my favorite patterns of the calico scallop is this with the orange like sunburst pattern. I do like that. Lovely calico scallop. Well, there's another parwelk. We haven't found one of those in a while. Nice coloring on that too. There's a sunray Venus. And see what it, like the two sides are not exactly the same. They're similar, not exactly the same though. All right, lettered olive. You're missing your top. Yeah. Okay, here's a scallop. And again, for me, interesting that the two sides are different. I mean, this one's white and pink. The other one's a lot more purple. Neato. Now, at this point, we've been together for a while, and I went on to a couple other locations. However, those locations I'm going to save for my Patreons this week. I rarely get the opportunity to edit videos specifically for my Patreons. I'm normally posting everything out there on YouTube, but today I'm going to finish this walk for my Patreon. So you can head on over to Patreon, and if you are a paying member, you'll be able to see the rest of our walk. Everybody else, we're kind of going to wrap up here. Now, I will tell you just quickly, you're going to miss a little octopus, so we are going to see that Patreons. But everybody else, let's go back. I did manage to pick up a lot of garbage off the beach. So today I picked up 10.7 ounces, which means in total, I've removed a little over 44 pounds of garbage from the beaches of Southwest Florida since I've started keeping track. Now, I did tell you we were going to see how that little project came out. So this is an alphabet cone. And I honestly was just curious. I like cleaning shells anyway, so this is what it looks like after it was soaked in bleach and dried. So this is dry. It looks okay. I mean, it looks fantastic, but it can look a little better. So I dipped it in that Acid Magic. That's my new favorite go-to acid, and it came out just lovely. So sometimes it's totally worth it. Now, some of the shells here may be unfamiliar to you because you didn't get to see me pick them up, but I did get some of those chalky lucines, some Atlantic giant cockles, some bay scallops there. So I did get a couple of angel wings, and it's nice that they were pairs. Some of the bay scallops also were buried, so they're a little on the dark side. We have some of those Sunray Venus clams, some rough scallops, a bunch of those calico scallops. We have a couple augers, a seraph, some mossy arcs, one nutmeg, a bunch of those lightning whelks. I see a paper fig, some kitten paws, apple murex, lace murex. Above that we have pear whelks, looks like banded tulips, maybe, I don't know what that other little drill. Did get some sand dollars, some olives, some white Atlantic similes, the fighting conchs, which were awesome. And then move over, we got some worm snails, buttercup lucines, shark eyes, some operculums, the yellow prickly cockles, the Florida prickly cockles, some egg cockles, the painted egg cockle, a couple of top snails, some rose petal telins, a coquina, those cantharus shells, which I like. And then the ones in the middle, oh, the little baby alphabet cone, the rose murex, those other horse conchs on top. And actually I got a piece of that. It's a zigzag scallop. If you're a Patreon, you'll know what I'm talking about. So everybody, thank you so much. I will tell you next week, I remember thinking to myself, is it fair that one person has this much fun? So I went out again. It was low tide. It was Fort Myers Beach, and I had a ball. So that's what we're doing next week. I hope you have yourself a fantastic week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.